So, greetings students, welcome to today's lecture. So, in today's lecture, we will be moving on to your unit 2. So, in your unit 2, we will be seeing about a special electrical device called as a transformer. So, the device what you will be seeing in your unit 2 is about transformers. So, in this entirely, we will be covering about your transformer working working principle. So after that the EMF equation associated with it. So we'll be covering entirely about the transformers in a single unit. Okay, so in this single unit itself we will be covering the entire part of the transformer section. Okay, so now we will be moving into the topic. So first you have to know about transformer. So what is a transformer? You have to see. So this kind of transformers will be used. The transformer finds application everywhere. So first you have to know for what purpose we are using the transformers. Okay, the primary purpose is that it is an AC device. You have to know whether it is a AC or it is a DC device. Okay, so if you are seeing with respect to that, it is a AC device which is used to change high voltage, okay, high voltage low current AC into a low voltage high current AC. Okay, and it can also do it in the reverse also. Okay, it can convert your high voltage into a low voltage. Otherwise it can convert your low voltage into a high voltage. So both the process is possible with respect to the transformer. So if you're going with the high voltage means then the current will be low, so that only the power will be maintained as a constant. So that's the theory maintained. So similarly, if you are having a low voltage means you'll be having a high value of current in order to maintain the same power. Okay, so in general, this operation occurs without changing your frequency. The frequency value will not be changing. So if you are transmitting your 230 voltage in 50 hertz means, in 50 hertz if you are doing means for a 230 volt means the same step down process will be occurring for 120 volt at the same frequency. Okay, so that's the main principle involved in this thing. Okay, so voltage, so here it will be your time period t, so with respect to your frequency. So in general, if you are taking a transformer means for what purpose it will be used is that it is used to transfer the electric power from one circuit to another circuit. So it's one of the primary application. So another one is that it does not change your frequency. The frequency change does not occur. This is accomplished by your electromagnetic induction principle. So you know about electromagnetic principle. So that is this you might have studied already in your physics. So if there are two windings means, so if your current is flowing over this winding L1 means, and over this L2 also there will be a current flow due to this current I. So it is mainly due to the mutual induction M. Okay, so that's what the mutual inductive influence they are saying. Okay, so moving on to the principle involved in this transformer, the same principle as I said before, it is your mutual induction. Due to the current flow in your primary coil, so this is your primary coil, this is your secondary coil. So here the primary coil is of 1000 turns and it is of 100 turns. So if here there is more number of turns means, and here there is less number of turns means, so it is a step down. So at the output side, your number of coils is less, so it belongs to step down. If it is a step down means the voltage value will be lower, okay, at your output side. So that's what your step down is. So if there's a current flow I1 over this circuit, then what happens is that due to mutual induction, so there will be a flow of current in this circuit also. Okay, it is mainly due to the changing the magnetic flux caused due to the primary coil. So according to this, an electromagnetic force EMF will be induced when the current in the neighboring coil changes. Okay, so that's the main principle involved in this. So the classification. Now we will be moving to the classification of transformer. As I said, based upon the application, what we are using, the transformer can be classified into a large number of types. So starting with based upon the application, so it can be either a power transformer. So power transformer is what we will be using in here, transmission and distribution. So next is uh, your current transformer and potential transformer. These two transformers are used in measurement and instrumentation purpose. Regarding this transformers, you'll be studying in your unit 5. So next is regarding the construction. So it will be core type, shell type, berry type. So while taking the construction, I'll be dealing with it. So next is about the voltage output based upon the output voltage. So step down means your output voltage will be output voltage will be less than your input voltage. Step up means your input voltage will be less than your output voltage. So regarding auto transformer, both the primary as well as your secondary will be the same. Okay, so it is your auto transformer. So at last I'll be explaining about this in detail. Okay, so based upon the application, can be used for welding transformer and furnace transformer. So next, based upon the cooling mechanism used, the transformer will be either air cooled, okay, or it will be oil immersed cooled. In the oil immersed system, there is nearly 4 types, starting with your self cooled, forced air cooled, water cooled, as well as forced oil cooled. So based upon the type of connection, okay, type of connection, the transformer can be single phase or 3 phase. Even in the 3 phase, based upon the star connection and delta connection, so you know about star and delta, so it is your star connection. So after that delta connection also, you know, so this is your delta connection. So this is your delta connection. So what happens is that if you are combining one of the winding as a primary as a star means, so it will be star delta. So this is star and the secondary will be delta. So if a star means, so at the primary also it will be star, secondary also it will be star. So delta means primary also star, secondary also star. So like that it will be there. So these two are a special type of connection. Okay. So next we will be moving on to the construction. So in the construction part, the what are the important equipments related to transformer is that the main primary thing is the magnetic core. So with the strength of this magnetic core only, your magnetic flux will be existing. Okay, magnetic flux will be existing. So next is the windings. The windings over your primary magnetic core. So it will be of primary winding and secondary winding. Next is the insulation of winding. Those windings have to be insulated for safety purpose. So it is for regarding your insulation of winding. Then conservator or expansion tank. So I'll be explaining about the function of this. Lead and tapings for coil. So these are the things which you can see at the top of the transformer in your nearby area itself. So over this only they'll be taking out the coil tapings out of this. Next is the tank which has your transformer. Okay, so it will be like this. So next is Buckles way. So regarding this, I will be covering in the upcoming slides. Then silica gel or breather. So magnetic core. So this magnetic core will be consisting of an iron core. Okay. So because iron is the one where you can build the magnetic flux easily. Next, this iron core will be laminated. Why it will be laminated means they will be help to prevent your losses. What kind of loss means eddy current loss? Okay, eddy current loss will be prevented due to lamination. So next is this is made up of silicon steel. The thickness of the lamination they are given, it will be around 0.35 millimeter to 0.5 millimeter. So the laminations will be coated with varnish. After that only it will be kept at the magnetic core. So actually the magnetic core, how it will be looks like means it will be like stampings. Okay, so it is a one core, one sheet of magnetic core. So above this another one sheet they will be keeping. So above this another one sheet they will be keeping. So like that they will be stacking up your sheets and to make your magnetic core. Okay, so finally magnetic core will be formed. So it will be looking like this. So here this is what your core, this is what your core, and this is what your winding. Okay, so here you can see, as I said, they'll be keeping the stampings like this, and windings also they will be winding over like this. So what happens is that the core will be kept one over the other. So the windings will be wrapped around the center leg of the laminated core. So here you can see it is your core and it is your center leg. So this leg is called as a center leg. Okay, or the center leg. That's what they are given. So the windings. So it is a type of transformer where it is called shell type. So in a shell type transformer, the windings will be at the middle. Okay, in the shell type, the windings will be middle. The magnetic core will be covering it. Okay, like a tortoise shell. So in a core type, what happens is that the windings will be wound at the both the sides of the core. So here you can see. Okay, so at the both the sides, the laminated square core will be wounded with the windings. Okay, so the windings will be high voltage winding, low voltage winding, and it will be provided with your high voltage insulation and low voltage insulation for safety purpose. So this is your cross sectional view of the transformer. So after the winding, the cross section is taken. High voltage conductors are a smaller cross sectional area. So this you have to know. The windings for your high voltage will be of smaller cross sectional area when compared to your low voltage coils. This is the construction of the two type of transformer, starting in the shell type, and this is your core type. So here the central limb only your windings will be there, but in case of your core type, at the either end of the core there will be the windings. Okay, so this is regarding the core type. So here you can see the HV winding. So inside that there will be the LV winding. So this is a shell type. So here the HV and low voltage winding will be split into number of section and they will be sandwiched like coils. Okay, the coils will be sandwiched together. So windings, it will be primary winding, secondary winding. Okay, so you have to know about the windings. The windings will be made up of copper. Why they'll be using copper is that this copper will be having a very high conductivity. So they will be making use of the copper. And coming to the construction part, and this is your construction of your transformer. So this is how your transformer looks like. So here you can see inside over this part only the transformer will be placed and it will be surrounded by a tank. Okay, so these radiating tubes over here corresponds to the cooling purpose. They are for cooling purpose, and from the transformer they will be taking out the bushings, and through this bushings only they will be taking the connections. Okay, so for example, if they are giving around here a 440 volt means the output here they'll be making with 230 volt like that. So at here there will be winding in case of your core type. So and this will be your core type transformer. Okay, so here is a conservator tank. So this is the conservator tank, and I will explain the purpose of this conservator tank. So here it is, from the conservator tank, a breather and a silica gel will be placed. So this is the main diagram regarding your construction of your transformer. So here you can see the tank. This tank will be filled with the oil, okay, transformer oil, and here this is your core, and this is your windings. So conservator or expansion tank. So the purpose of this conservator or expansion tank is that it will be mounted above the transformer. Here you can see it is mounted above the transformer. The function is to keep the transformer oil despite expansion or contraction of the oil with changes in temperature. Okay, so the main thing is that the temperature will be rising. Okay, so there will be a difference in temperature at the atmosphere as well as over inside of your conservator. So sorry, inside of your transformer, this transformer. So this temperature difference has to be maintained constant. So for this purpose, they will be making use of this conservator. Next is the insulation. The insulation what they'll be using is paper or enamel as in turn of the insulation for low voltages, or enameled copper with paper for the power transformer or high rated transformers. So insulating oil. So insulating oil protects the paper from dirt or moisture. So it also removes the heat, excess heat when any kind of fault occurs. Okay, it acts as an insulating medium. So that's what the insulating oil. So this is transformer oil is nothing but your insulating oil. Okay. Next, properties of the insulating oil. It must have a very high dielectric strength. That is, it should not allow for conduction. It must be free from inorganic acids. Okay, it should not have any kind of acids or any alkali. Okay, it must be low viscous. So you know about viscosity. So it must be low viscous in order to provide a very good heat transfer capability, so that only the heat in the core of the transformer can be dissipated outside. It must be free from sludging, okay, under normal operating conditions. Good resistance to emulsion also, okay. So these are some of the properties of insulating oil. Next comes the Buchholz relay. So it is a warning device. So if it is a relay, so we have seen about relay in the previously itself. So Buchholz relay is nothing but a warning device. First, the fault warning is indicated. How it is indicated means by the presence of bubbles in the oil. It is here if any bubbles arises means, so it will be indicated by this Buchholz relay. Okay, if there is no pockets in the which pockets in which the gas can be collected, then the gas bubbles will rise up. This you already know. If there is no any kind of space means the gas bubbles will be rising up. The after this a gas operator relay might be mounted. This gives an alarm in case of a minor fault. So how a air bubble, gas bubble arises means whenever a fault occurs, this tends to rise of your gas bubbles. Okay. So next is the breather. So this breather prevents the entry of moisture inside the transformer tank. The moisture content is prevented by the breather. It will be filled by drying agents like silica gel. So you know about silica gel. So these kind of silica gel will be placed in the in any kind of if you are buying any new suitcase means they will be having these kind of silica gels in this. So this allows dry air to enter the tank. Okay. Next is the bushings. From this bushings only the connections will be taken out from the transformer windings. So usually Usually for 33 kV, they will be making use of porcelain material. Okay. So cooling arrangements. So how the cooling arrangements are involved, we'll be seeing. So first thing is that it will be oil immersed cooling. So here the core and the coils will be immersed in the insulating oil or the transformer oil, which we have seen previously. The heat produced in the core is conducted by the circulation of the oil. The oil will be always circulating inside it to the surface, which dissipates your heat to the surroundings. In large transformer, dissipation surface is increased because if the surface area is more means then what happens, your heat dissipation will be also more. So this oil will be access both as a cooling agent as well as a insulator. Okay, so that's the main thing. So next is about the cooling arrangement. So in the cooling arrangement itself, we have seen about oil immersed, natural cool. Next is the oil immersed, post air cool. So in this thing, what they'll be doing is they will be forcing air over the cooling surface. Okay. So apart from keeping the circulating the oil. So next is oil immersed water cooled transformer. So here the core and the windings will be immersed in the oil, and cooling is increased by circulation of both cold water as well as oil. So oil immersed forced oil cooled transformer. So core and windings will be immersed. So the cooling is achieved by forced oil circulation. So now here the oil will be forced through a centrifugal pump separately. Okay. And this pump will also will be entirely inside the oil. So next is the air blast transformer. So this will be cooled by a forced circulation of air alone. Okay. Next we'll be coming to the working of transformer. How the transformer is working, we will be seeing. So for this, you have to know about Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. So over here, when the current in the primary coil changes, okay, so here we'll be applying the voltage at the primary, and the primary current will be flowing over this. When this current changes, there will be an alternating in nature. Magnetic flux will be produced. So this magnetic flux is nothing but your phi. So the flux linkage will be from your primary side to secondary side. Okay. So this changing in the magnetic flux field, what happens, gets associated with the secondary through the soft iron core. Hence, the magnetic flux linked to the secondary coil also changes. This induces an EMF in this secondary. So this is how your single phase transformer looks like. So the voltage, so I1, I2, so induced EMF E1, induced EMF at the secondary E2, so number of turns N1, number of turns N2, and finally your load will be connected. So you have to know about the ideal transformer, what theoretically ideal transformer looks like, but in practical cases, these things are not possible. Okay. So zero leakage flux, there shouldn't be any kind of leakage of flux connected from primary to secondary, but in general it is not possible. So next, the windings have no resistance, but this is entirely not possible because the windings will be always having some kind of resistance to it. The core has infinite permeability. So permeability is associated with the magnetic flux only. So reluctance is nothing but the similar to resistance in the electric domain. Reluctance is in your magnetic domain. So that's what your reluctance is. So reluctance has to be zero, but it is not possible in practically. So lossless magnetic core. This is also not possible. very difficult. So here you can see the V1 supply voltage, V2 output voltage, Im is your magnetizing current. Okay. So E1 is a self-induced EMF. I1. So if you are connecting in the no load, okay, now we are connecting it there no load. So because of there's no load, so this circuit will be open circuited. So if it is open means there won't be any kind of current flow. So your I2 value will be 0. So this is with respect to the phasor for your ideal transformer. So here the I2 will be 0. So that's what with respect to the your ideal transformer. Okay. So with this we can stop today's lecture. Thank you.